YouTube, what it do? It's your guy CJ back with another episode, back with another installment of the CJ Wilkins YouTube channel, also the Be a Man podcast affiliate. I want to have a conversation with y'all today, man, about the importance of always viewing yourself as the greatest version of yourself. It is so important to go out into this world day in and day out, viewing yourself in a healthy place, viewing yourself from a very healthy perspective, right? But to talk about how to view yourself, right, in a healthy way, we have to first talk about what are unhealthy ways to view yourself, and then also some of the the causes or the origins as to why some people don't view themselves in a positive light, right? A lot of times, man, and myself included, right? So I'm not trying to speak from an ivory tower about this subject, but I will say, man, when you don't have a positive or like a healthy world view of who you are as a man or a woman, right? A lot of times that's tied to mistakes you've made in the past. It can be tied to shortcomings that you may believe about yourself or things that other people may project on to you to be true or whatever. And with that, you have to be very, very intentional with not adopting those things as realities, right? So, say for an example, you made a mistake 5 years ago, right? And you can't forgive yourself for this mistake. Until you forgive yourself for that mistake, whatever it was, no matter how big or small, it's gonna almost be like an Alcatraz around your neck, you know? It's gonna be like an anchor that literally weighs you down, okay? It's gonna be an anchor that weighs you down, so you have to get into the habit of really making peace with your past, you know what I'm saying? And when I say make peace, I'm not saying like just pretend like, you know, everything is hunky-dory and everything is like perfect, you know what I'm saying? But come to the realization that there's nothing about your past or nothing within the past you can change, okay? It's already gone, it's already happened, you know. It is the most conducive thing to do to make peace with whatever occurred. Make peace with it, you know what I'm saying? Alleviate yourself of the self-guilt, the self-blame, the shame, the agony that comes with beating yourself up about something you cannot go back in time and change, okay? Taking ownership of our actions in the past or whatever we did, whatever role we played in the thing that we're beating ourselves up about, that's not helping you view yourself in the best light possible, okay? So that's number one. Another way that we beat ourselves up is we have anxiety or uncertainty about the future, right? And one thing about the future is always going to be uncertain, and it's supposed to be uncertain because we're not psychics. You know, we can't look in a crystal ball and see what the next 20, 30, 10 years are going to look like, you know what I'm saying? But there are things that we can do in the present, right? And the present is the most important thing in the world, right? And the reason why is because the only life, the only existence, and I did an episode on this a few months back. I'll be sure to tag it in the comments below. The only life you have is the present. You know, right now is the only, whatever you're like fixated about, or the only thing you could really be worried about or should be worried about, if you're gonna worry. I don't want you guys to really worry because everything is written. If you're like a spiritual person or like a person of faith, right? It's all written. Whatever is gonna be in your life, right? In accordance to God, it's already set in stone. Like it's gonna happen. So you can't beat yourself up too much about the present. But I will say the present is the only thing that you have control over. You know what I'm saying? Can't control the future because you don't even know if you'll be around for the future. Like, we live in a world and I'm not telling you guys with that to be day by day and not being intentional and not, setting plans, but, you can't really, we don't know like what's going to be in the future. We don't know how the future's going to look, sound, taste, smell, feel, right? So the only thing that we have control over is what we do with today. The 24 hours God gave you today, whenever you're watching this video, the only thing in this world you have control over, or really you have a say-so in, is what you do today, right? But why is it so important to view yourself in the highest way possible, man? I'm going to tell you, there's something magical that happens in your life when you view yourself in a positive light. There's something very, I would say, paradigm altering that takes place when you view yourself in a favorable way. Just like I can say for the opposite, when you view yourself in a negative light, it can have an impact on your world too, right? When you meet people, man, who don't think highly of themselves, or people who kind of like, they make self-deprecating like statements, or they put themselves down, or they don't feel too good about themselves, man. Normally, their life reflects. Their life normally reflects, you know what I'm saying? Them not really feeling that great about themselves, And it shows, and it's a sad thing. It's an unfortunate thing when people beat themselves up about, the things in their lives, So it's very important, man, to view yourself in a positive light. View yourself in a way that honors who God created you to be. Because God created all of us to be somebody. Everyone is somebody. I never subscribe to the notion that, some people are like just worthless or a lost cause or don't have a meaning for this world. That's not true. Everyone on this planet, everyone listening to the sound of my voice right now, you have a purpose. Now, you may not know what that purpose is. You may be early in your journey, or you may be like, you may be getting your footing back again, because sometimes, in the middle of life or later in life, we kind of fall off or we lose our footing on certain things, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy to do that, but don't stay down for too long, like when it happens, But view yourself in a positive way, man. Like, make it a habit to say good things about yourself. Make it a habit if you have to, man. Just start one day at a time, man. Just go and find you some positive affirmations, man. Write them down, search them on Google, enter it in ChatGPT. 10 things I can say to myself every morning to make myself feel good about who I am, right? Start like that, and it will change your life. It will change your life. Everything about your life, it'll change. So like for real, like it'll change your life for real, man. Just having that confidence in yourself and being able to say good things about yourself and just really liking what you see when you look in the mirror, man. It's a beautiful thing, It's a real beautiful thing. Because when you feel positive, when you feel confident about your reflection in the mirror, that gives you like some confidence. That gives you some self-esteem. That gives you it puts you in a position to be the greatest you. You know what I'm saying? It puts you like in a position to really be the most successful version of yourself, right? Because you're looking at yourself as the most enlightened, the most tuned in, the most focused version of you. And that's what you have to be in this world, man. Like, there's going to be people in this world who, like, are going to speak negative about you. There's going to be people in this world who try to put you down. There's going to be things in this world to try to make you feel like less than or bad. You don't need to contribute to that. You don't need to help them out. You need to be the person who's speaking life into yourself, who's speaking greatness into yourself, who's pouring love into yourself. And when you do that first thing you do is you save yourself, right? You save yourself because you make yourself greater as a result. But then you begin to radiate that love and that confidence. So now you're not only improving yourself, but you're improving those around you. So be sure to give that some thought, man. I ain't going to go too long on this topic, man. Pour love into yourself, believe in yourself, speak life over yourself and everything that you pray to God about. And you'll see your life change drastically. So as always, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the CJ Wilkins YouTube channel. It's your guy CJ, and I'm out. Peace.